You don't care if you have to lie, cheat, and steal. You're going to do this thing at all costs. Libra signs, that's what I'm seeing in the cards. So we have the Emperor and the Five of Swords. That is like, I will win literally at all costs, even if I have to like push the next guy down, you know, before the finish line, so I get to the finish first. And that's what I'm seeing. Now, the Seven of Swords is the lying part. So you're willing to lie. The Five of Swords is the cheating part. You're willing to steal, or you're willing to cheat. You're willing to do something sketchy that you wouldn't otherwise. You're willing to compromise your own ethics to get this. And then the Knight of Cups, you're willing to kind of manipulate people. You're willing to use the silver tongue to try to convince, manipulate, charm people. That's the Knight of Cups. And the Four of Cups is the long-standing strategy behind all of this. So you guys are really determined to do something. Now, for some of you, this has to do with the person, it has to do with the love situation. I don't think that's the case for all of you, because the next couple of cards do talk about getting someone else to see you in a certain light, to get somebody else to like you, get somebody else to notice you. So that could be part of it, but because it's so far down, I think this message is for only some of you. So I'm getting the interest, obviously, from the Lovers card, and then the perception is coming from the Knight of Swords with the Hanged Man. The perception is the Hanged Man, and then you actually want them to maybe even come to you, talk to you, engage with you, Knight of Swords, think about you, okay? You want to be on their minds. Let's pull Oracle card. Interesting. So we have Neptune reversed, which is like daydreaming. It's like and with the rest of these cards, what it is infatuation. So some of you might be infatuated with a person or a like lifestyle scenario. You might be infatuated with just a career choice, right, for you. So whatever it is that you have, like an imagineered, it's like you're putting this thing on a pedestal. It's almost like, you know, I'm gonna grow up and be a movie star. It's like, well, maybe being a movie star isn't even that glamorous, but you're putting it up on, everybody puts it on a pedestal, but you're definitely putting it up on a pedestal, just as an example here. And then we have the Eye with the volcano and the left turn arrow. The Eye of the volcano is where like your like eyes just suddenly bug out and you're like, that thing. You have like a sudden interest in whatever this thing is, and it's not normal. It's really drawn your eye outside of the norm, because the left turn arrow tells me that this isn't something you'd normally be paying attention to all the time, but it's grabbed your attention, and now that it has, you're infatuated. Let's see if we can get some advice for you. So let's see what you guys should be doing about this infatuation, if you should be acting on it, and then if so, how should you be acting on it in order to get the best result? Okay, so the Three of Swords with the Nine of Wands is saying, and the Eight of Wands is saying, no pain, no gain. So the Three of Swords is the pain, and then the Nine of Wands with the Eight of Wands is the gain. It's like the working hard to get a lot accomplished really fast. But that is painful, and I think this entire part of your life where you're really trying hard, you know, it may not be like physical pain, but it's painful in the sense that like you don't have the thing that you want, so it's painful to strive for that thing, okay? But looking down here, man, it's gonna pay off, because your efforts, and you're kind of like almost putting yourself out there because you're doing things you normally wouldn't do, and it is a bit of a risk. Doing anything you normally don't do is a bit of a risk. Like, oh, is that effort worth it, or is it going to pay off? Well, in this case, it pays off, because we have the risk is the Fool, and then the Four of Wands here is the moment where it pays off. And Four of Wands is a relationship card too. So if you're one of those people who is looking to attract somebody's attention, that is shown in the cards. Definitely here as well. Let's pull advice from the Oracle cards. Advice. Wow, so literally these cards are all just encouraging. These are all cards of encouragement. It's like, this person will eventually pay attention to you. Whatever it is that you're trying to obtain will eventually become receptive to you, will come to you. That is the hammer with the ear. Whatever it is you're trying to draw towards you and ameliorate, you will be doing so. And I do think it's a person, because we have the Queen and the number 2 down here. So you're talking about somebody who is going to actively be drawn to come to you. And it's going to happen fast too, because the Foot. So it's like, don't be discouraged by the current moment where it's like the struggle, the reach, right? You're currently reaching and it's like, oh, am I going to make it? Well, you will. So very, very encouraging cards right here. And it may be eventually, right? It may not be right away, but I think it's gonna be faster than even you or I think, because the Foot is haste. And yet what's interesting is on the bottom we have Taurus. So it's like, feel free to go slow. Things might happen fast, okay? You don't have to push quite as hard as you think you do. Things will happen fast regardless of how fast you're moving, if that makes sense. So integrate that into the advice, I think, here. You don't have to do as much crazy stuff. It might be a matter of slow and steady wins the race, because this person is going to quickly become receptive, or the situation is going to quickly become receptive to you. Okay, that is your reading, Libras. Thank you all so much for being here. If this resonated for you, don't forget to like the video and follow the channel if you want to see more of these.